Learning progression from ISO 9001 to IATF 16949. IATF 16949 2016 builds on ISO 9001 2015. So it's essential to use them together. This approach really helps make learning easier and more effective. Learning can be more enjoyable when we keep three key points in mind. Point number one, the 10 clause structure is identical in both ISO 9001 and IATF 16949. The focus on what of ISO 9001 becomes how in IATF 16949. Also, the key automotive pillars is the real delta between ISO 9001 and IATF 16949, and therefore we learn about these delta in much more detail. Let's dive deeper into each point and explore them together one by one. The first point is the 10 clause structure is identical in both the standards. That means while learning IATF 16949, we should understand that ISO 9000 follows same high level clause structure. Because of this, while learning, we can expect two actions from our side. That means high level clauses with this clause 1 to 10, which are common in ISO 9001 and IATF, are inside the boxes when you see IATF standard. We can very well ignore these boxes if we already know ISO 9001 very well. The point number two is that what we see outside the boxes, also called as supplemental sub-clauses, are the only additional points that we have to learn. These points or these sub-clauses have several decimals in between. You can see, for example, clause 7.1.5.1.1 of measurement system analysis, or 8.3.2.3 of development of products with embedded software, and so on. The second point is focus on what becomes how. ISO 9001 often states what needs to be done. For example, control processes to ensure conformity, whereas IATF 16949 turn these high-level requirements into specific how-to process mandated by automotive industry. For example, in ISO 9000, clause 6.1.1 and 6.1.2 state that the organization shall identify the risks and opportunities and take actions on them. That means what should we do? Whereas IATF 16949 has further subclauses, which is 6.1.2.1, suggest a mechanism of risk analysis by specifying the inclusion of lessons learned from product recalls or product audits or field returns, etc. That means it is telling us how we should do risk analysis. So the action expected from our side is, when reviewing IATF clauses, ask yourself, how does this automotive requirement translate the what of ISO 9001 clause, which is we already know, into how of the IATF clause. The third point is key automotive pillars, the real delta. Once you have mastered the ISO 9001 as a base, dedicate your study to the three pillars of automotive industry that IATF rigorously enforces. The pillar one is the core tools. IATF mandates the use of AIAG core tools, which are APQP, FMEA, MSA, SPC, and PPAP. The impact on QMS is that it requires developing relevant competencies and integrating these tools into all applicable processes. Pillar 2 is customer-specific requirements. IATF mandates the absolute need to comply with customer-mandated rules from OEMs such as General Motors, Ford, Toyota, Tata, etc. Pillar 3 is process control. IATF emphasizes defect prevention and process effectiveness using specific audit types which are unique to IATF, which are manufacturing process audit and product audits, beyond the normal typical QMS audits which are also there in ISO 9001. Apart from this, we may also need to learn some new terms specific to automotive industry, such as product safety, contingency planning, competency requirements, embedded software, warranty management, and supplier management, with particular reference to second party audits. Accordingly, this internal audit program for IATF 16949 will also include automatic process approach for auditing, which including risk-based thinking. We will also introduce you to VDA 6.3 to better understand process audits. Applicable 9001 and IATF 16949 requirements related to the system audit, and we will build on ISO 9001. Point number 3, applicable core tool requirements, which will be APQP, PPAP, FMEA, MSA, SPC. We will give you introduction of these tools in this program. Understanding how to manage audit applicable customer specific requirements will also be introduced in this program.